Hi, so picture this. You are sleeping in one of the Congo's oldest refugee camp. A refugee camp that started way back in 1994, right? So you are sleeping there with your children, and then out of nowhere, there are explosions. And before you know it, you are a victim, you know. And that's what happened on Friday in a an IDP camp, that is the internally displaced persons camp in Goma, or not far from Goma. Now I'm going to take you to the location I'm talking about. As you can see, this is the international airport of Goma. So as you move along this road headed to Sake, right, there's the green lake, that is Lakva, and slightly not far from that lake we have this internally displaced persons camps. As you can see from the space, some of them are this one, and the camp of Mugunga, because this region here is called Mugunga, where you find the people who are pushed from their homes by these Rwandan troops that are coming there, is located there. So this is the one we are talking about. The one on the right, with the tiny homes, or rather houses made of canvas or tents. Let's call them tents, that have been set in an organized manner. This is the old camp, right? The old camp. And on the left is the new one, the one that recently sprung up, right? As you can see, that's why it's kind of not organized. People put up those smaller tents all over the place. So this is the camp we are talking about. And there, a little bit to the north of that camp, is where you find the Congolese army outpost, the FARDC base. That's what they're calling it. Very tiny. You can see it probably has a troop number of about 50. And again, as you move north on the same road, you come upon the MONUSCO camp, made up of Bangladeshi troops. This is the one here. So as you can see, these are the trenches, and these are the Bangladeshi kind of troops. Very few of them, probably less than 20 or 30 thereabout. And then as you move north, that's where you find the mountain. So it's there south of the mountain. And the Rwandan troops, I want to show you something. The Rwandan troops are the ones who are controlling this territory here, Kibumba. So because this line here is the border between Congo and Rwanda, right? And they've been crossing a little bit to the north of this mountain, through this territory. They've taken this part of Congo, and that's why the villagers from this region of Kibumba, they are the ones in that camp, right? And now they came a little bit south. They went around the mountain, that is Mount Nyiragongo, and set up mortar position, and started shelling the refugee camps. So the refugee camp that was hit is this one. 12 people were hit directly by that bomb, or the bombs. There were two bombs, huge bombs, that were fired towards this camp. So they landed in this new camp. And you've seen images on social media of the kids that were killed in those bombs, body parts all over the place. And the US knew, because this is the Google Earth. I'm able to see this, and it's not live. This is an image that was taken earlier this year, sorry. But it still shows the formation of this camp, which started actually growing this year. So now imagine what people with the live satellite footage can tell or can see. And that's the communication. They can listen or eavesdrop to the communication between Rwandan troops and their commanders in Kigali. So that's why the US quickly, through their Department of State, or rather their foreign ministry, they call it the State Department, they issued this statement through their spokesperson. This is Matthew Miller, the spokesperson of the State Department. He works under the Secretary Blinken, who is the foreign minister or the state secretary of state of the United States. So he issued this statement less than an hour after the bombs hit those refugees. And this is what he says. He says the U.S. strongly condemns the attack today from Rwanda Defense Forces. Right? So they are not even going to pretend that they don't know. They know. And there are M23 positions. So M23 and Rwanda Defense Forces are one and the same. We've said this before. So, and on the Mugunga camp for the internally displaced persons, that is the refugees in Congo, in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, it is essential that all states respect each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Basically, they are saying Rwanda needs to really respect the other countries' borders. They also have to respect their people. I mean, why would a troop close the border from their own country go here to start bombing refugees who came there not because they came there because they liked to come there, but they came because they feared after seeing presence of foreign troops in their villages. So they got scared, they ran away. And then you go after them. You go to where they went to be hosted near a military camp here. So they came here because there's the military camp here. So they feel that the military camp is here, they are behind it, so they can't be touched. At least there's some sense of security. So you still go after them to bomb them. So it's just absurd, it's just provocative. And Rwanda has been doing this for a long time, crossing borders to other countries and committing crimes on other countries. Of course, everyone is quiet, but we also blame the Congolese government. They want to tell us that, oh, they're being restraining themselves. They are being restrained not to react, but it's their territorial integrity that is at stake here. It is their people that they have to protect here. It is their, their sovereignty that is being threatened. So you don't need permission from anyone. You need to act. Congo needs to respond. And I think this is long overdue. And you find that you don't even understand. No matter what happens, if Rwanda sends their troops across such a border to come and do that, Congo needs to be in a position to respond immediately by firing missiles and rockets deep inside Rwanda and targeting one of the Rwandan, towns or centers. They need to do that. Then, of course, we know Rwanda will try to respond in some kind of way. Congo needs to also respond again, so that even the people in Rwanda can start feeling the effect of the war. Because when I went through the social media, you find social media accounts from Rwanda here. Don't look at the flag. This is not a Congolese person. This is a Rwandan operated account. We've been here before. So they are saying the locals clearly see the bombs were launched by Wazalendo militia. Wazalendo are those young men who are actually the sons of the people in those camps. And this lady, whoever she is, this animal here, is telling us that the son, someone who is 18, 20, 21, whose mother is in a refugee camp, and this son got angry because they were kicked out of their farm. He picked up an AK-47. So he's telling us the same son has forgotten where his mother and grandmother are hosted as refugees, internally displaced refugees, and this son has decided to bomb his own mother and grandmother. What stupidity is that? So it doesn't work that way. And they were saying that you look for another one. There's another one from them. The US, they use a local language, nyosho nyosho. Do you pay attention to locals or what? International NGOs like the UN on the ground said, do you just think being white? Okay, so they're trying to downplay the fact that the US within an hour, had known who had done it and had issued a statement. They are not happy about that. And they think, so Rwandans, that's what I'm saying, the war needs to go to them too. They need to feel it. And I don't know, Felix Tshisekedi, the president of Congo, maybe it was the wrong choice for the Congolese to have as a president during this time, because right now Congo should be having an army of between 500,000 to 1 million, and most of that army should be here, and they should by now have bought artillery pieces that can reach Rwanda. You know, those artillery that can fire at least 150 kilometers deep into Rwanda. So if we were to use this, if the artillery is going to be stationed here, you know, right? Let me just try to show you where an artillery piece with a 150 kilometer range, or even 70, the normal ones. From here, if they were to fire 70, they can easily, right? If they were to fire with artillery piece that has a range of 70, they can easily hit this territory here, the whole of this territory, and this is one of the most densely populated region of Rwanda, so that at least the radio stations and TV stations in Rwanda stop playing music and pretending that their country is not provoking war, and do something about, you know, putting pressure on their government. Of course, I know the government is dictatorial, but at least people need to get the message, to also feel what the Congolese people are feeling, to also get displaced and go live in some internally displaced persons camps inside Rwanda, so that now the ground can be even, and the international community can then start also paying attention, more attention. Because I don't understand, even to this point, why a foreign military would create chaos in a territory bordering its border, push the citizens from their homes to a camp, and then go after the same citizen in those camps to bomb them. Now, to end this video, you need to understand that most of those people who are removed from Kibumba and the region of Ruchuru are Hutus. And I keep saying this, Hutus are Bantus. They also have their cousins who may not identify directly as Hutus, but they are closely related even through their DNA, called the Bahunde. So they are all there. Bahunde are in Ruchuru. There are some part of Ruchuru and those regions. Then the Hutus are located around Nyiragongo, Kibumba, Rumangabo there. So then when they move away to this camp, the Rwandan troops are mostly Tutsi. And Tutsi, you know, it's a tribe that has a Nilotic origin. They are fighting ethnic wars even to this day. So the Tutsis are bombing this camp because they know it has Hutus inside, and they are not armed Hutus just because they are Hutus. They just like enjoying killing Hutus. And if you think I'm lying, you should go to their social media accounts and go through what they keep saying, right? The things they write, they usually write in their own language, but you see the hatred they have against the Hutus, even the ones who are not in Rwanda. So it's the same thing we saw in 1990, the same thing we've witnessed in 1991, and then the same thing that happened in 1994 in Rwanda. It's the same thing that is continuing to this day. They just go there and shoot at the people. Now, this is one of the images of the camp where the bomb landed. And thank God, the bodies have since been removed. But there was a smaller tent camp here where the bomb landed inside. There were 3 kids, boys under the age of 11, below the age of 11, all of them. And one was about 3 years old. And their mother was sleeping in this tent here. And there were body parts. That's what it was there, where this man is pointing. And the other camps near here and the other. So 12 people died from those mortars that landed here.